So here is the solar powered compressor trailer that I use for blowing out sprinkler systems. It works really good. So I had this idea a few years ago about being able to blow out sprinkler systems using solar power. So I kind of came up with the design and the idea, and then a really good friend of mine and he has the technical expertise. Him and I put it together and built this trailer. And so now I'm going to share it with you. It works really good for blowing out sprinkler systems, but you can take the air compressors out, you can take out the extra air tanks, and now you've got this perfectly good cargo trailer that has 4,000 watts of power. I'm going to explain a little bit more about how this thing works. If you have any other questions about the specific parts here or anything else, at the end of the video, I'll put a list of all the components that I used. Okay, so let me briefly explain what we got going on here. In this solar trailer, we've got a small 6-gallon pancake air compressor here. It's a Porter cable. And there's a new pancake compressor here by Rigid. These are both connected to the inverter. So one is plugged in directly, and the other one I've plugged in through a surge protector here. So I can turn them on individually, or I can turn them on together. This 4,000 watt inverter runs both of them simultaneously, and it'll run it like that for several hours. Then they both feed into this expansion tank here, and then this expansion tank feeds into this one here. And then I have a hose that comes out of that. Now on this, I have a pressure regulator and gauge, so I can regulate the pressure here, but also both of these tanks have pressure regulators, and I have those set as well. I might ask too, why 2 small pancake air compressors and not one big one? Well, I did try one big one, and with one big air compressor, it draws too much power when it kicks on. This trailer will run it at 4,000 watts, it'll run it fine, but when it kicks on, that power spikes, and this inverter can't handle that. In fact, this is the second or third inverter that I put in, and it's bigger just to handle that spike, and those big air compressors are too much for this. So by using 2 little ones, even if they start at the same time, they don't draw as much power to kick on, and I can also control it a little bit better to where if I don't need as much power, I can turn one of them off. If I need to save some energy, I can turn one of them off, or if I need it, kick them both on and it'll run all day. So that's the reason why I have 2 small air compressors instead of one big one in here. So to get a little bit more in detail about what we have here, we're going to take a look at this inverter here. So this is the pure sine wave inverter. It's a continuous 4,000 watt with a 24 volt. The 4,000 watt inverter can run both of these air compressors for a long time at the same time. The Porter cable uses about 800 to 900 watts. The Rigid will run about 1,000 watts, pretty close to that. It's interesting to watch it because with this BMS, it's a Bluetooth, so I can watch exactly what the output is. It's pretty cool, but it does vary. It goes up and down a little bit, but on average together, both of them running, it's about 2,000 watts or so. So that's why I need a 4,000 watt inverter. But the kicker is the peak wattage. So when these compressors, like most appliances, first turn on, it peaks. So it uses more power to start, and then it levels off. And you need a higher wattage inverter when it starts, is because of that peak. But let's keep looking at some of these other things. So we've got a master switch where we can turn everything off so we can work on things. We've got these bus bars, we've got fuses here so that we can safely work on things, or if we have any overages or anything like this. We've got this fuse back here that we can turn on or off manually, and it will pop the fuse if it gets over. We've got our solar panel power coming in directly to the charge controller here, so everything's looking really good. The wiring looks like a bit of a mess back here, but it's because I tucked it up into the front corner of this trailer. Like a lot of guys, I mount this stuff to the wall. But in this particular case, it was really important for me to get every component on the front wall. And that's because I wanted it in front of the axle in this trailer to reduce bouncing. The other reason I put everything on the wall is because these air compressors vibrate a lot when they're running, especially having two of them. So if they're running constantly, there's a lot of vibration going on in this trailer. So by putting them on the wall, it kind of dissipates some of that vibration. Now, you might be like, well, no, everything's gonna vibrate. That's true, but let me show you some things that I did to reduce the amount of vibration. So on the floor where the compressors sit, I actually added a thick rubber pad that helps dampen some of that vibration. I also put the battery on a shelf, which helps reduce the vibration as well. And this wall is actually got something special. There's something I did in between that was a little different. So we have the standard wood sheeting that comes with the trailer. Then I actually put a layer of rubber matting. Then I put another layer of wood on top of that. So I have wood, rubber layer for dampening, and then I screwed new wood to the outside of that. So this is actually kind of got a little bit of shock absorption because there's a rubber mat between them. And I know there's screws in there, but it does add that extra layer and it does make a difference. These two air compressors run all day and they vibrate a lot, but with the extra padding on the floor to dampen that vibration, and also these components being mounted on this wall, and then the rubber matting in the second wall, and then building the battery onto this shelf, has really made a big difference. These things hardly move at all. You can see when you're in here, everything else is vibrating, the compressors are vibrating, there's nothing up here. So that has really helped extend the life of this stuff. Wear and tear, it doesn't move around at all. Being in the front of the trailer, it pivots if there's any bouncing or anything, so it doesn't get any kind of major bouncing. So it was worth the extra effort to mount it in the front. But then, because everything's in the front, I went ahead and mounted some of the monitors and the switch in the back of the trailer so I could easily see and control, turn things on and off. Also, another thing that I really like about this is the BMS that I have, the battery management system, is Bluetooth, so I can look at the stats with my phone. I can see it live, what it's doing, how much power is coming into it, how much power is going out of it. I can turn it on, off. Take a look at the app here. I'll see if I can share it with you. The one I like to use all the time is Overkill. It connects Bluetooth. It's really easy to see. I added a bunch of these extra straps and tie downs so that everything is strapped down really tight. There's even just enough room to put about 100 feet of hose, an extension cord for charging it up if I need to, and a little toolbox of connections. Right here, all the little goodies in here that I use. There's even just enough space for that. I did even add a fan here. On warm days, it does get warm in here, so I put a battery fan and it keeps it cooler. Here are my solar panels. So there's 3 solar panels. They're 200 watt each. And so we've got 600 watt possible, which we never get fully 600 watts, but it charges the batteries pretty well. As far as the power coming in from the solar panels, I put it right in the middle of the trailer, right in the middle of underneath one of the solar panels too, because it gets a lot less weather that way. But there's those little grommets there. But on the outside, I also put the sealant that you use for RVs. So it's really that thick, gooey stuff. There's a technical name for it, but I can't remember. But it is super waterproof. I went really thick and squished it all around there. So back to these solar panels on the outside, I had to build an extra frame. So I just went and got aluminum, L metal here, and cut it. And then the square tube here to build an extra frame on top of the trailer. Because this is trailer, and then this is the metal frame, the aluminum frame that I built, and then screwed the solar panels to that, and I screwed them to each other as well. Also in the corner there, I've got a Victron Blue Smart Charger, and that is for if I want to, like on a cloudy day or overnight, I can charge my batteries, which I have in the black box there. So that charger over there comes in handy when it's cloudy, overcast, or whatever. I also installed this shore power right here. I can plug in here and charge the batteries inside. And about this shore power here, I didn't put it down below. I wanted to put it up a little bit higher, not only because on the inside it's up higher, but also too, it's a little protected from the weather here. So it's right next to this overhang and it's towards the front, so I can not worry about it getting any extra moisture or anything like that. And I put it on it would be passenger side. So then that way when you pull up to the street or to your house or whatever, it's on the passenger side and you can just run an extension cord right in. So that's why I put it up here. So here's the list of all the parts that I used. Sorry if it goes too fast, but you might just pause it as you need to. I really love this trailer. It's done a lot of good work and pretty happy with the end result of it. Well, here's the last 20-second selfie in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and check out the next video. It's also pretty good, I think. Hope you like it. And if you have any other questions about irrigation or blown out sprinklers or anything like that, check out these playlists, and hope I can help you out.